Hello students, it's your history teacher. I hope you all relaxed and healthy after the Easter holidays. And we can start with another online lecture of history. Today on the topic Homeric period or the Dark Age of Ancient Greece. This is so far the third period of ancient Greece because we already had Minoan period, Mycenaean period, and now Homeric period. After the last lecture, you know who Homer was. It was the author of Iliad, the story about famous Trojan War, and this period of ancient Greek history was named after him. But in the same time, it is called Dark Age. Why it is called like that? First of all, it's because we have no written record about this period, only the works of Homer, the writer, because he wrote the Iliad and Odyssey, and these two stories were written in the end of the Homeric period. This is the first reason why we call it Homeric and also dark, because when you have no information about some period, only legends, so stories that can have also a lot of fantasy in it, you can't be sure if you have correct information, and that's why we call it dark, because it's unknown. The other reason why we can call it Dark Age is that it was period of stagnation. From that very little knowledge we have, we know that trade declined and people lived in small farming communities during this period because there was Dorian invasion that ended Mycenaean period. We know that Dorians were one of the Greek tribes that invaded the Greece. So the Mycenaeans or Achaeans, as the tribe that created the Mycenae was named, was the first tribe that came in the first wave. The second wave were Dorians and then Ionians. So Dorian invasion just took place during the Homeric period. In the never-ending wars, also the linear B writing was forgotten. This means that people stopped to use this writing because the Dorians brought another type of writing. So linear B was forgotten and used no more. Okay, so during Homeric period, we have no more records of linear B writing. Linear A was forgotten even before because it was not also deciphered, so we can't read it. Because of the lack of writing and because of the wars that were happening during this period, it is also called Dark Ages. You know, the war never brought something good. It only brings death and instability. Okay, let's go to the administration during this period. During the Homeric period, there were kings. The king was called Basileus, and they ruled throughout the period until they were replaced by the aristocracy. So we can say this was example of primitive kingdom. So there was one king which was called Basileus. This was like a title. Okay, so Basileus basically meant king. And then he had his peasants and craftsmen and warriors and so on. You know it from another ancient civilizations. But in the end of the period, he started to be replaced by the aristocracy. So aristocracy, these were former warriors, the closest warriors of the king, who were loyal to him. And slowly, this aristocracy started to replace the kings, and they became the ruling class. Even though Dorians invaded the Greece, they were not able to create one united empire, and this was because of the geography. If you remember what I was talking about on the very first lecture about ancient Greece, this was that the land was from 70% mountainous. This was a natural border between the cities, so it was very hard to connect it together. Also to communicate between the states and so on. So this is why many city-states were founded. We call the city-states polis. Čo si pri tomto pamätáme, ja tam mám napísané polis, lebo to je plurál, čiže množné číslo od teda city states, mestské štáty. Pokiaľ by sme hovorili o jednom mestskom štáte, píše sa to polis. Čiže pamätáme si, to je tá vlastne grécka gramatika, čiže polis jednotné číslo, poleis množné číslo. Kľudne sa napíšte vedľa, aby ste mi to napísali dobre aj v teste napríklad. And another important thing that happened during Homeric period and Dark Age was the Great Greek colonization. During this colonization, Greeks spread as far as the Black Sea and Spain. So new colonies were created all around the Mediterranean. This is very, very important. I will show you on the map all of the locations where the Greeks settled after the Great Greek colonization. And here we have it. So you can see that they spread from the Black Sea. So the furthest place where they were was Tane. Okay, they were all around the Black Sea, also in Asia Minor, Northern Africa, all around mainland Greece and all these islands, in the southern Italy, Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, southern France, and part of Spain. So all these red areas were the areas of Greek settlement. If you think about it just for a moment, you will notice that they founded their colonies just very close to the sea. So they were all around Mediterranean because this was what they knew. They were fishermen, they were sailors, so they still wanted to be really close to the sea on the coast. So they choose very similar lands. So they were not traveling to the north somewhere. They still wanted to stay around Mediterranean, but they were searching for better conditions for agriculture. Because we know that Greece was not very good for fertile land and so for the agriculture. So they were looking for more fertile lands. So around the rivers, on the coast of the flatlands of France, Spain, Africa, Asia Minor, Italy, and so on. So they were looking for better conditions in the terms of agriculture. Okay, so remember that. So these people started to escape from bad conditions, but also from these never-ending wars. That was why the Great Greek colonization happened. And the last thing I want to talk about on today's online lecture are the forms of governments. We have 8 of these forms of governments, and they were created by the Greek philosophers, and you have in the brackets the ruling class always. So the first one should be very easy for you because it's monarchy, so the ruler is the king. Another one is oligarchy. The ruling class is ancestral nobility. This means a small group of people that have control over the country or state. So ancestral nobility are just very few people that rule. The next one is aristocracy. These are the noblest, so the ones that are calling themselves that they have the blue blood. The noblest by sme mohli povedať aj, že najšlachetnejší, najvznešenejší. Democracy are the wealthiest or the richest, so the ones who have the most of money. Sophocracy, the ruling class, are the wisest, so philosophers, the smartest people. Politeia, this is that ruling class is middle class, so most of the people. So only the ones who are like average, so have average property, these ones should be ruling class. Tyranny, the ruler is one dictator or tyrant who became tyrant according to his skills. So he was really skillful, and that is why he was able to become the ruler, okay, because he was strong to took over the power. And the last one is democracy, and this is what the ruling class are all people who have rights. Čo to znamená, že všetci, ktorí majú práva? Myslíme tým v každej perióde niečo iné. Záleží, komu tie práva udelíme. Napríklad demokracia, ako ju chápeme dnes, ľudia, ktorí majú práva, sú všetci ľudia, ktorí majú občianstvo určitého toho štátu a majú viac ako 18 rokov. Čiže aj muži, aj ženy nad 18 rokov, ktorí majú slovenskú štátnu príslušnosť. Čiže tí ľudia môžu sa podieľať na demokracii a sú vládnoucou triedou demokracie na Slovensku dnes. Pokiaľ by sme hovorili napríklad o starovekom Grécku, budeme si to spomínať, boli to iba muži žijúci iba v určitom mestskom štáte nad určitý počet rokov. So it depends on the rights that were given to these people in specific state. Zopakujem, čiže monarchia s kráľom, oligarchia, malá skupina ľudí, ktorá chce kontrolovať, aristokracia, nejaký najvznešenejší, čiže ľudia, povedzme s tou modrou krvou, timokracia, to sú najbohatší, sofokracia, najmúdrejší, politea, stredná trieda vládne, tyrania, jeden diktátor, jeden tyran na základe jeho schopností. Tyran znie možno trochu kruto, ale ten tyran nemusel byť vždy zlý. Znamená to len, že je nejaký uchvátiteľ, že sa sám dostal k moci na základe tých svojich schopností, ale nemusí byť hneď krutý, za to, že sa to volá tyrania. A posledná je teda naša demokracia, kde vládnu všetci ľudia, ktorým boli udelené práva. To revise the start of this presentation, for me it's very important that you will know why the Homeric period was called also Dark Age. This was because we don't have enough information. It was a period of stagnation because there were a lot of wars and the linear writing was forgotten during this period. What was the government system during this period? So it was monarchy that was in the end replaced by an aristocracy, that not one united empire was created, but only city-states that we call police, and the Great Greek colonization took place. And I also want you to remember that it was all around Mediterranean, and also the reason why people settled around the Mediterranean. So because of the bad agricultural conditions in their country, and also they were searching for better conditions, but still wanted to stay really close to the Mediterranean. So you can help yourself with a map, and the last thing, to learn by heart these forms of government. That's it for today's online lecture, and see you the next time. Stay healthy. Bye.